everyone, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Jordan, and today we're going to be explaining the top 5 hunting mistakes.
Mistake number 1 is not practicing enough.
And by not practicing enough, that's if you're not practicing enough with target practice. Whether you're shooting a gun or a bow, you need to get practice in because it's an art that you can kind of lose after a amount of time with pointing the gun and just how it feels when you shoot. And so it's always important to make sure you get out into the target range and make sure you do a couple of shots every so often during the off season too, just to keep everything well oiled and everything.
Mistake number 2 is not scouting enough.
And not scouting enough, that means not getting enough of the time to look at your land, to see the layout of it, and know where the deer are, and the signs too. And without doing that, you're not going to know anything about the area, and you're going to be lost, which has happened to me in the past. And that's why it's very vital to get out and scout your area, so that way you know where everything is, and even during the hunt season, things can change. And so you kind of want to know the area, and if they're not in this particular area, well, maybe they're in that back area there.
Okay, mistake number 3 is being too noisy.
Being too noisy is another vital thing, because if you're too noisy, the deer can hear you, because they got really good hearing. And so they can hear just a little pin drop even. And so it's important to...
And unzip.
Yeah, unzipping and zipping up your coats too. That can really affect noise too. And also, I have an experience too when I was hunting with my dad. I was up in the tree stand, and he was down below getting all comfortable and stuff. And of course, when someone's making noise, that's when the deer come. And so I was telling my dad to be quiet because deer are coming, and he kept rustling around down there. And so I kind of whispered a little louder, "There's deer." And then he looks over his shoulder, and just as I was getting the deer in my crosshairs, just about to shoot, he goes, "Oh yeah," at the top of his voice, and sure enough, the doe runs off. And very frustrating. Yeah, I was frustrated at him, but now to this day, we laugh about it, because, it's in the past, and that happens, and you learn from it too.
It sounds really funny. Would like to hear more of that story one day. Mistake number 4 is letting your adrenaline get to the best of you.
Yep, and when you see that deer, the adrenaline just shoots up very high, and you're all shaky and stuff, and that can really adjust your throw off your shooting, because if you're shaky, bullet's gonna go that way, or arrow is gonna go that way. But if you're let you just take a couple breaths. That's what I gotta remember too, is when I'm just about to shoot, take a couple breaths, kind of relax your heart a little bit, and then you're more accurate because you'll be more still. And so that's been really helpful to me, but yeah, at times and stuff, the adrenaline still gets the best of me too.
You've had that happen to you in the past couple of years, hasn't it?
Just last year.
Okay, mistake number 5, hitting the deer in the gut.
Yeah, that's a really important one too, because you don't want to hit the deer in the gut because it's really stinky, and I think you can also ruin a part of your meat too. And we want to have as much meat as we possibly can, so we always want to try our hardest to hit in the vital shots, which is right behind the front shoulder, and that's right where the heart is and the lungs are too, and that's where the shots would be, where no meat would be ruined either. And so I haven't personally shot a deer in the gut yet, but I try my hardest not to. But I hear doesn't smell too pretty.
Well, that's the 5 mistakes. Oh, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we also want to shout out Susie Q. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, Susie. But before you go, there's a video right here that we want you to click on, and also it'll entail an app called OnX, and it'll be about the land and everything, and how you can keep track of yourself and your game that you're going for too.
We'll see you guys in the next video.